Recording. Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to the class on Operation Research. So, guys, we are doing a very important chapter called Transportation Problem. And under Transportation Problem, we are learning how to determine initial basic feasible solution. And there are basically three methods to determine the initial basic feasible solution. One was northwest corner method, which we did already day before yesterday. Another method was least cost method or matrix minima method. So that also we did last class. Now now uh, we will do the third method, which is called VAM method. The full name of VAM is Vogel approximation method. The third method, the full name is Vogel approximation method. The full name of the third method is the Vogel approximation method. So out of the three methods, what we have discussed, what we are going to discuss to determine the IBFS, initial basic feasible solution, the most important out of three is VAM method or Vogel approximation method. Okay, guys, so how to work on Vogel approximation method? If you see your previous year question paper, no, out of the three methods, the maximum question will come from VM only, Vogel approximation method. So you can understand how important is this method. Okay, guys, so let me write down a problem. So the destination, your destination, four destinations are given. So right now I'm not doing a problem, previous year exam problem. I'm doing some generic problem, D1, D2, D3, D4. You have supply and you have source. So source is factory F1. Your source is factory F1, F2, F3. Okay, this is demand. The total sum is demand. The total sum of supply. Okay, so the total sum of supply should be equal to total sum of demand. Let me write down the value. That is 3, 4, 1, 3, 2, 5. Then this is 4, 4, 3. Then this is 1, 2, 2. The sum of supply is 100, 125, and then 75. The total sum is 300. Guys, please always check. Total sum of supply should be equal to total sum of demand. This is 120, 80, 75, and 25. Okay, so now you can see the total sum of supply is equal to total demand. So this is the problem, guys. We'll try to solve this problem by Vogel approximation method. We'll determine the initial basic feasible solution by using Vogel approximation method, guys. Okay. So please write down this problem, everyone. So already I believe you have written down the problem. Now we'll try to solve this problem by Vogel approximation method or VAM method or penalty method. So how to do this? How to do this? Please pay attention. I need you to pay attention. What you need to do, guys, here you need to find penalty, guys. Row wise, column wise, guys, no, you have to find penalty. You need to find penalty. Okay. So what actually penalty you have to find? See here. So you will find penalty. Like we'll write this as P1. This is P2, P3 like this. You'll find penalty row wise, column wise. You'll find penalty here, right? You'll find the out of the three method. This is the considerably difficult one. That's why this come in exam. So here you will find penalty P1, P2 like this, P3 like this. So what you will do, what you have to do, guys, see in this column, column 1, see the smallest element. The smallest element is 1. And then see the next smallest element, that is 3. What is 3 minus 1? That is 2. So the penalty for this would be 2. Similarly, for second column, the smallest element is 2. And the next smallest element is 3. 3 minus 2, 1. Can you understand this? Then in third column, the smallest element is 3. The next smallest element is 4. 4 minus 3, 1. Then fourth column, the smallest element is 1. Next smallest element is 2. 2 minus 1, 1. Okay, now see row wise. Now see row wise. Now see row wise. Now the smallest element is 1. See the first row, smallest element is 1. Next element is 3. Next smallest is 3. 3 minus 1, 2. Then second row, the smallest element is 2. Okay, the second row, the smallest element is 2. Okay, then the next smallest element is 4. 2, 4 minus 2, you'll get 2. I hope you are understanding. Then third row, the smallest element is 1. Next smallest element is 2. 2 minus 1, 1. Clear everyone? Now what you have to do, guys, what you have to do once you find this penalty, now once you found this penalty, so once you find the penalty, guys, I hope you can see this penalty. Pick that penalty which is the largest one. So once you find the penalty, guys, pick that penalty which is largest one. But here you'll say, sir, the largest penalty is 2, the value 2, and that came 3 times, sir. It came 3 times, sir. So you take any 2, doesn't matter. You take any 2, that doesn't matter. So suppose if I pick this 2, okay, so now this penalty, what this penalty actually did, this penalty help you to decide which row or column you need to allocate first. So when we did northwest corner method, we pick the first cell. We do not use our brain there. We do not use our brain to pick which cell. We started with the first cell. Least cost method, we took that cell having the least value. In Vogel approximation method, we'll go with that row or column which is having the maximum penalty. Okay, now I hope you are understanding. Now I pick the first column. In that first column, pick that cell which is having the lowest value. The cell which is having the lowest value here is 1. So in that first column, now what you do, allocate on that cell. Do allocation on that cell. The allocation when you do on that cell. Now if you see here, the supply is 75, demand is 120. So how much you'll put, guys? Here you'll put 75. You'll put 75 now. You'll put 75. So if you put 75 here, this is done. You cannot, then the third row cannot be done with anything else. Now it was 120, demand was 120, 75 supplied. So how much pending? I think 45 is pending. 45 is pending, right? 45 is pending. 45 is pending. I hope you understood. 45 is pending here. So fine. Then we'll do again. Now again, next cell, which one? For that we need to do it again. The first column, difference 4 minus 3, difference is 1. Second column, that is 3 minus 2, the difference is 1. Third column, 4 minus 4, 0. Third column 4 minus 4 0. Fourth column 2 minus 1 1. Okay, then first row 3 minus 1 2. Second row 4 minus 2 2. This is dash, means you're done. Third row nothing can be discussed. Now you understood this, right? Now you see the second penalty, which is the largest one. The largest value is 2. So first row, second row. Out of that, you can choose any row. If out of this, you choose anything. Suppose if I choose this, so it will enter now. So here in that row, which is the smallest value? 1. The smallest value is 1. So do allocation on that. So put 25 here. So this is 25 done. This is 25 done. Okay, now this 100 will become 75. Clear everyone? This 100 will become 75. Clear everyone? Anyone, any doubt? Okay, now once we are done with second penalty, now we'll go to the third penalty like this. Like this, we'll find the third penalty. Third, so the difference 4 minus 3, 1. Then second is 3 minus 2, 1. Then third one is 4 minus 4, 0, 0. Then fourth one is nothing. So fourth one is done. No, fourth column is done. Okay, done. Then third penalty, this is 4 minus 3, 1. Then this is 4 minus 2, 2. Okay, this is done. Can you understand this? Okay. Then you see third penalty, which is the largest value. The largest value is 2. There's only one cell, 2. So this will enter. Now this means here 4 2 4, which is the smallest value, guys? 2. The smallest value in that row, smallest value, that row or column, the smallest value is 2. Okay, 2 correspond to what? Supply of 125, demand is 80. So maximum what you can do, 80. If you put 80 here, then nothing can be done for this. So this will be done. So here this left is 45. Done. Clear everyone? Clear everyone? Now I hope you understood this. Now we'll then we'll find the fourth penalty. Now we'll find the fourth penalty like this. We'll find the fourth penalty like this. Fourth penalty, this is 4 minus 3, 1. This is 4 minus 3, 1. Second penalty, this is done now. Everything is done. No element is left in second column. Leave it. Third, this is 4 minus 4, 0. This is 0. Then fourth column, I think that is dash only. Done. That's nothing can be done for that. First row, 4 minus 3, 1. 3 4. This is dash. Second panel, this is 4 minus 4, 0, 0. 4 minus 4, 0. And third is done already. So now here see the largest value. Largest value is 1. The largest value is 1. The largest value is 1. Here you can see the largest value. The largest value is 1. Here you can see the largest value is 1. Okay, so here you see the largest value is 1. So this will enter in that. The smallest element is 3. So this in the 3 and 4 left in the first column. The smallest element is 3. So how much you can put? Supply is 75, demand is 45. So how much can you put, guys? You can put 45 here. If you put 45 here, nothing can be done for this. So this 45 will get exhaust. This 75 left is 31. Done this. Okay, now this, now if I go with P5, if I go to P5, then this is exhausted. If this is exhausted, this already we did. Then the third row, third column, not third row, third column is 0 only. The third column is 0 only. P5. The here if you see row wise, this and this already done. This will be, I think, will be 0. P5, let me confirm. Not 0, this is 4. P5 is 4. This only will do, the largest one. So P5, this will enter. So this 4 if you see, demand is 75, supply is 45. So you'll put 45 here. This will left is 30. This will left is 30. This 45 done. This 45 done. Okay. Now guys, if you see that now only one cell is left, and you'll put it 30 here. So with that, this will be done. This will be done. Clear everyone? This is your final solution. This is your final solution, which we did by Vogel approximation method. Clear? If you want, you can do the test of degeneracy. Test of degeneracy will be, test of degeneracy, you remember or you forgot? What was a test of degeneracy, guys? Test of degeneracy, never forget here. Degeneracy, the test of degeneracy, that is a rule, m plus n minus 1 rule. Number of allocation. So the number of allocation, that will be equal to, number of allocation will be equal to number of rows, 3 rows 4 columns. So 3 plus 4 minus 1, there should be 6 allocation. So you can count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. You can see 6 allocations are there. So if the total number of allocation 6 means they are non-degenerate. Your solution is non-degenerate. If your number of allocation is equal to 6, then you are getting non-degenerate solution. That is the term. This is solution is called as non-degenerate solution. Clear everyone? Any doubt, any question? Any doubt, any question, anyone? Any doubt, anyone? Is this clear, everyone? Okay, everyone. So if I write your solution, if I simply put the solution here, if this was the question, if I write again the question, so the feasible solution, initial basic feasible solution, what I got by WAM method. So initial basic feasible solution, what I got by WAM method, what I got by using WAM method. Okay, initial basic feasible solution, what I got by WAM method. So this was like this. So 3, 3, then 4, then 1, then 4, 2, 4, 2, then 1, 5, 3, 2. So this is the initial basic feasible solution. This was the cost element given to us. Okay, and the allocation what I did, the allocation what I did on 345, on 3 I put 45. This is 45. Then in that row anything else. Then 4, 30, 125, 30, 25, 30, 25. Okay. Then second row, uh, 80, 45, 80, 45, 80, 45, 80, 45, then 75, then 75. Can you understand this? So your total number of solution, it should be 6 solutions. It should be 6 solutions. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. The total number of solution, it should be 6. The total number of solution, it should be 6 solution, guys. Can you understand this? The total number of solution, it should be 6 solution. Can you understand? There will be 6 solution for this. Okay, so if you know test of non-degeneracy and all. Now, guys, if I do this, if I do finding the cost, so your total cost will be equal to 3 into 45 plus 4 into 30 plus 1 into 25 plus 2 into 80 plus 4 into 45 plus 1 into 75. So your total cost is equal to 135 plus 120 plus 25 plus 160 plus 180 plus 75. So the total cost 135 plus 25, the 125 plus 75, 100, 100, this is 200. No, this is 120 plus 180 is 300, right? This is, sorry, 120 plus 180 is 300. 300, this would be 400. 400 plus 160, 560. 560 plus 135. That would be 695 if I'm not wrong. Check the answer, guys. Clear, everyone? Let me know anyone have any doubt. See this. Anyone, any doubt, any question? See this part, everyone. I have minimized everything. Everything, whatever I did so far, I have summarized everything in front of you. You can take a screenshot or you can take a photo if you want. You can see that. Clear this, everyone? Anyone, any doubt, any question? Any doubt, anyone, any question? Hello, everyone. So I'm assuming that you have understood what all I have done so far in this class. So we have done one problem on Vogel approximation method. Now, guys, the solution what you get now, guys, the solution is not an optimal solution. This is a feasible solution. Okay, so we learn once we're done with Vogel approximation method, then we learn how to check the test of optimality. When we learn the use of optimality, then we can be sure about the solution part, that the solution what we get is optimal or not. That solution, this is the feasible solution. So while doing the test of optimality, which is done through modified method or by stepping stone method, we can actually check our optimality. Okay, everyone. Anyone, any doubt, any question? Can we wind up the class for today? We'll continue our discussion on Monday. Any question, any concern? Srinivas, Ashwini, anything you want to ask? Lakshmi, anything? Ayaz. So, guys, it's time to say goodbye to all of you. I'll see you all on Monday. Thank you, everyone.